Welcome back, everyone. We're continuing our Black History Month series, Made by History. Ask any veteran and they will tell you there's a sense of pride that comes with putting on the uniform every time.
But for some who serve, there's a source of pain in the fabric of every stitch. This Black History Month, we spoke to some soldiers of color who served their country during a time when it didn't love them back.
I'm gonna make it. The law got me, and the level of hate, I just keep pushing on.
I decided that I'm gonna go in and make the best out of it. That's been my attitude in life always.
Both attitudes fit for a soldier. Private John Brown and Command Sergeant Major Johnny Johnson carried these mindsets with them as young men, not realizing their lives would one day depend on it during a difficult time in our nation's history.
I spent 30 years, 9 months, 12 days.
The very day Martin Luther King was murdered was my first day in the Army.
Between 1968 and 1970, both Brown and Johnson served in the Vietnam War.
We had dealt with being shot at daily and riding convoys where you had to, if one of your buddies got shot or somebody got killed in the convoy you was in, you had instruction to make sure you don't stop that convoy, that you kept that convoy moving.
For 8 months, Johnson, the young man in the photo with his fist in the air, rode convoys, carrying supplies on the ground, never knowing when the enemy would strike.
All along the way, we was attacked, and my job was, when I first arrived there, was to man the M16 machine gun. If I saw someone stick their head up, it was my job to make them put it down.
Brown also fought on the ground in the 1st Cavalry, assigned as a combat infantryman.
I walked around in Vietnam with an M16 looking for people to take out. That's what I did. I even walked point. That's the very first man that's out front of everybody else.
What happens next? Some would consider a miracle. Brown was shot August 5th, 1969, 3 times in the chest. A chopper soon came to his rescue.
They got me about halfway up, and the enemy started shooting at the chopper and me, and the chopper took off with me dangling under the chopper for a good little while, and then they pulled me on in.
While the battle was raging in Vietnam, another battle was being fought.
Philadelphia, Mississippi, you have to realize that it was some terrible times in the United States. People protesting against the Vietnam War, Martin Luther King marching and protesting. Boys was killed in Philadelphia, Mississippi because of the fact that people were trying to register down there.
Both soldiers fighting for America's freedom, while freedom fighters were on the front lines, at home.
It was quite shameful. You know, here we are fighting a war for this country, and we being called a and and the whole 9 yards, everything, and spit on, and it was a double standard for us, particularly, being that we was Americans too.
A realization and pain that pierced many.
At night, I would hear him back there saying, "We're gonna get you, nigga."
This is a photo of retired Command Sergeant Major Chris Taylor, an M1 tank driver in 1970.
I was the only black kid in headquarters tank section, so I used to say, well, y'all come on. I guarantee you somebody ain't gonna make it.
For Taylor, Brown, and Johnson, and so many countless others, determination is something that's skin deep.
In my mind, nothing gonna stop me.
No matter the shade.
If you work hard at any job you go in, I'm confident that you'll overcome all the racism, you'll overcome anything that you're dealing with.
Or color.
I'm a person that loves, and you can't beat love no matter what you do. We withstood, we're resilient.
Some inspiring stories there. While African Americans made up 10% of the combat forces in Vietnam, they accounted for nearly 13% of those killed in action.